All right, bro, let's talk about Group A dividends coming up in 2 days. We'll discuss each fund. Naturally, we'll spend most time on TSLY, especially with all the drama going on. And then in a follow-up video, I will talk about potentially going into OLT and HUI and why I may or may not do that, and my thoughts on basically the alternatives to buying Plati and HUI. All right, bro, so this is Leo once again with YieldMax Tracker. And so please smash like button, subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. If you hold TSLY stock, also post it down. Also, I would like to know your opinion about the whole drama between Musk and Trump, because it seems to not be going away. You know, first there was the pedo thing 3-4 weeks ago, then they kind of buddy again, and now with the passage of one big beautiful bill, Musk basically announced that he's going to start an American party, the third political party in the US. Anyway, the Tesla stock has suffered today, so I would like to know your opinion on all of this drama. But so let's jump straight into Tesla. It's down $20 today, $21, down almost 7%. Throughout the day, it was down as low as 291.60. That was down 7.5%. It may go up from here, it may go down, depends on the development of the drama between Musk and Trump. But that's not good for Tesla investors if it continues, and it's also bad for Tesla investors. I am both, and so in this video we'll talk about how this will affect the dividends from Tesla, and also just talk about the drama in general, and then we'll jump to other funds from YieldMax. So there's a bunch of them, but Tesla is the biggest in this group, so I think we should spend some time. Basically today Musk was kind of not very loud about this stuff. If you can hear his Twitter, he's talking about Starlink in Qatar, but then he's also like reposting some political stuff, more political stuff, some more Tesla stuff. So kind of 50-50 here and there. But yeah, this pedo Epstein list thing, I mean, it's kind of like pretty pathetic that Pam Bondi promised to release the Epstein files. She said it's on her desk, and now there is nothing to release, nothing to see here. Move on. That's kind of crazy, but yeah. So this whole political drama is driving Tesla share price down. That's not good. You can see we're as high as 355 around the robotaxi launch. We were 292, about the same price as now. That's when they had their previous round of beef. Right here, it actually fell even lower, 285, 284. So what do you think? What do you think will happen to Tesla stock in the next couple of months? You think it will recover? You think Trump will or Musk will stop being political, or do you think it will escalate and Tesla will go down further down? With that said, bro, this wasn't a great month for Tesla and for Tesla. So we made just 11 cents this whole cycle, and we're sitting currently on a negative 53 cents, and that's a big negative because Tesla price is just 766. So this is a big chunk of close to 7% in the negative on the synthetics. So our synthetics will expire next week, and that's even more scary because they'll have to roll out. Either they take a big loss and roll it down to something like 300, or the other option, they take a small credit and leave the strikes where they are right now. But if there's further escalation between Musk and Trump, this may eventually come to bite us in the ass, and we might have to take even higher losses on the synthetics. Okay, so as far as short calls, let's take a look at the whole picture. Right here we have the lowest strike is 317.50. That's 7.5% out the money. So it's a very likely they will expire worthless, and we will roll these positions for next week on Friday. But we still have a few days until Friday, and this actually does not in any way change the current dividend for current cycle. So let's take a quick look at shares outstanding. Oh, what do you know? We had actually an increase on Friday. And there was no Friday trading on Thursday, but that was before the drama escalation, and that was before the big beautiful bill being passed on July 4th. So, which is weird. I mean, the Congress was open on July 4th. That's kind of crazy. Anyway, bro, so the current holdings don't really change anything for current cycle, but yeah, we basically made, let's see, $15 million for the whole cycle. That's 11 cents. How much will they pay? So last time they paid 40 cents and they made $1.53. So previous months was pretty good. This month's IV estimate sitting at 36 cents. Our ALGO estimate is sitting slightly higher, basically 39 to 47 cents. I think because they made money last cycle and they only paid out like 26% of their earnings, I think they'll pay something like 45 cents this time around. But yeah, basically this whole drama between Musk and Trump is not helping Tesla stock. But maybe, like, let's say it escalates like real hard for the next couple weeks, and then Tesla stock drops, say, to 250. I think it could be a pretty good buying opportunity because long term, I'm still bullish Tesla. However, it will hurt TSLY pretty badly. So yeah, that's what we have for Tesla. Again, bro, let me know what you think about this whole drama and about Tesla stock, about their dividends. Let me know in the comment section below. And with that said, let's move on to TSMY, completely not related to Trump. So that's good. I mean, not related to Musk. So there's no drama. They are sitting on a small loss of 56 cents this cycle. Let's take a look at rolling P&L. Okay, yeah, they've been losing money this whole year. However, how much they lost so far? 255 essentially. But bro, we're sitting on a $4 synthetic gain. Again, expiring in just a week, so we will cash that in. They'll probably roll it up so to collect the whole cash credit right away. And maybe if TSM continues pumping or at least stays flat, that roll up will be rather safe for us. I don't expect a big drop in TSM stock because just we're still in a bull market, you know, like, yeah, there's ups and downs. Yeah, there's like tariffs coming back. Today they announced a new batch of tariffs on basically everyone who doesn't matter. But TSM, everybody needs TSM. NVIDIA needs them, AMD needs them. So there's huge demand. They're booked years out, and so I mean, only like a big bad recession could hurt their stock in the long term. By the way, bro, I think in 2023, so like 2 years ago, Buffett sold this thing for $75 bucks or something like that, something crazy like that. So yeah, this stock will do just fine. So I'm not worried if we roll up the strikes for the next months. Even if it goes up to like 330, I think that will be just temporary. Let's take a look at TSM stock, how it's doing. Come on, load up. Yeah, look at that. Look at that, bro. What a V-shaped recovery. Should have bought it over here. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. But we're just hitting the previous all-time highs. I think there's plenty of upside for the stock. Even if we roll it up, roll our synthetic positions up, we will collect the full cash. And yeah, so not bad. Let's see what they will pay. So the algo prediction is not strong, basically because of two factors. We have a negative rolling P&L. That means year to date we lost 255. Okay, and we also have a loss this cycle, 56 cents. So the algo estimate is sitting at 52 through 67 cents per share. Their last dividend was 90 cents. Let's see. Yeah, it was pretty high. It was like at the top of one of their highest dividends, if not the highest so far. So maybe they will actually pay somewhere around 70 cents this cycle. Maybe just slightly above the high end of our estimate. And with that said, YBIT. So I've been critical of YBIT, but they've changed the strategy. They're no longer dealing with BITO. So they're now mostly dependent on Bitcoin. And this MBTX, those are, I believe, are Bitcoin futures, mini futures. So not going to analyze their holdings, but basically they lost 10 cents per share in the cycle. I'm not going to look at their rolling P&L. It's pretty ugly. Well, actually, let's do it. Yeah, dollar per share loss. That's about 10% in just 6 months. But let's see. YBIT, they're sitting on call buy $30. So that's what they use to sell covered calls. They sell covered calls against this position. So they bought it in the money. They paid a hefty price at the time. But now it's like almost like a synthetic. They will, but it doesn't have that put part to the synthetic. It's basically a poor man's covered call. I kind of like it, but I don't know what they actually bought it for. Probably like 24, 25 bucks. So we're in the green on that. So this shows the in the money that's based on the strike, but not on the actual price. So we don't have a P&L. I haven't done that yet. But 62 calls for this week, 63, 64 and a half, 65. Most likely, like this could be in danger because it's only 1% away. The 62 calls. The other ones probably are safe unless Bitcoin starts pumping above 112, 113. I don't see that happening, but it's possible. We still have 4 trading days. Dividend estimate 35 to 45 cents. I tend to agree with that, and it's in line with the previous dividend, which probably was one of the lowest. Yeah, this was like their lowest dividend ever. So maybe they'll pay somewhere near 40 cents, 40-ish. And then IV sits at 33.5 cents. That's the IV estimate. So yeah, I think they'll pay about 40 cents, but they still lost 10 cents per share, so not cool. Okay, SNOY, let's preload this thing so we don't spend much time on them. Okay, SNOY, again, we're sitting on a nice gain per share on the synthetic. However, we lost 2 cents per share. They paid $1.27 last cycle. Let's take a look at the estimate right away. So the ALGO predicts about 60 cents to 85 cents. Dividend, the IV-based estimate is 46 cents. So yeah, basically because we have a nice gain on the synthetic, the ALGO is predicting higher than the IV. And that's a pretty nice yield, 45 to 63% for the yield. Not bad, but the IV on the stock itself is like 34%. So nothing to write home about. Yeah, they're sitting on a nice synthetic gain. That's great. They're sitting at $200 strikes, and Snowflake right now 226-ish, give or take. So this data will update, and we're looking at a cycle that's already concluded. So we're just basically talking about the predictions and the future cycles. We're not really looking back at trades because we know they lost 2 cents per share. Okay, let's move on. GOOY. What do we have? Well, we actually made a very nice profit this cycle, $1.25. That's 10% gain in 1 month, and that's realized gain. That's very nice, bro. However, the synthetic is slightly in the money, so that's not good. Yeah, we're slightly down on the synthetic. This will update because so these numbers, they still show the Thursdays numbers that we still haven't pulled data from yieldmax. And anyway, they've been kind of being late on updating their holdings, so you have to wait till kind of like 9 p.m. to get a clear picture on the holdings. So this will be a little bit further in the money or loss on the synthetic, but yeah, pretty good cycle. Let's take a quick look at dividend estimate, 50 cents to 71 cents. I think they'll pay about 60 because they actually made a pretty good chunk of money this cycle. Let's take a look at their dividend so far. Oh wow, that last dividend was not the lowest and kind of like in range of the last 6 dividend payments. Yeah, I still they'll pay about 60 cents. And the IV estimate is 33 cents, so nothing to write home about because IV on Google is 35%. However, I think Google might actually have a breakout to like 190 at some point, but long term, I'm not sure about this stock. I have a little bit of it, but yeah, not a big position. I don't know. Anyway, OARK down 15 cents per share and up big time. About up 20% on the synthetic, bro. 20% of the stock price. That is nice. Once they roll those, so that's next week again, they'll collect a big chunk of money up front. However, RK could because I think there will be like a market correction in say end of July, August, after the earnings season is almost done, and this might come down. So this might put us in the future months in kind of in danger if they roll to like say $70. Roll up, cash this in. We'll see what happens. Let's take a look at dividend estimate. So the algo estimates will get less money than we got last cycle. And what did we get? Okay, so it's been kind of on the uptrend. This wasn't the lowest. So I think they'll pay about 40 cents again because they're just about to cash in their synthetic. So that's the estimate. Let's move on. XOMO. So by the way, bro, so if you look at this dividend tracker and you're not a member, if you're not signed in, you can see the full XOMO report as a demo version of the tracker. So you can see all of this yourself, but this is not a big fund, just 4 million shares, 4.2 million shares. They are down 30 cents per share on the P&L unrealized losses, but are sitting on a synthetic gain of 87 cents. I don't think ExxonMobil should be priced at this level. I think it's kind of ridiculous. But that's a whole different conversation. My basic premise is that ExxonMobil price should closely follow the price of oil. And when oil is 65, ExxonMobil should not be 111. That's just how I look at things. I sold all my Exxon in January, bought Palantir, it was 65 at the time. And I'm very happy with that. But let's take a look at estimate for XOMO. Not a lot of you have it, so not important. 25 to 31 cents. Okay, let's move on. We won't spend much time on this guy. Crash probably will pay pretty good this week or this month. No, bro, they only made 4 cents. This is ridiculous. Tesla has been dropping. They only made 4 cents a share. This is kind of pathetic. Whatever. No, I don't know how they can pay this IV if they're losing money. Yeah, I'm just not into short ETFs. Look, they only lost 9 cents per share so far. So yeah, they made out big over here in April when Tesla dropped to like 211 at some point, I think it was. Yeah, so and that saved them year to date. However, they just made 4 cents even with the Tesla volatility and going down. So I don't know what to tell you. I'm not a fan. So last but not least, BRKC. This will be their first dividend. I think they want to surprise people on a positive side. So far, they're okay. This cycle they made 51 cents, and that's 1% of the give or take 1% of the current share price. Okay, and that's less than the IV. And year to date, they're actually at 43 cents. How much will they pay? I say they will pay about $1, but I don't know. This you see, this is like it's very hard to predict because they'll pay $1 just kind of to show investors this is a good fund, but they don't have that dollar. They didn't make that dollar to pay it, and so yeah. So here's what the algo predicts: 67 cents to 84 cents, but it will look pretty bad on the first dividend just under $1 on a stock that's $50. On the other hand, Berkshire has very low IV, 16.5%. So Jay has been telling for a while, like you can't expect a lot from BRK product that they're gonna bring out because just the low IV of Berkshire. So anyway, yeah, they'll probably pay like 75 cents. That's my thought. And the IV estimate is 62 cents, 63 cents. But bro, they didn't make any money. They didn't make money, just not enough to cover this dividend. Yeah, but since it's their first one, I think they'll pay like 75 cents. Okay, bro. So with that said, thank you for watching. Let me know again what your thoughts are on Musk, Trump saga, on Epstein files not being released, on TSLY. If you own any of these other stocks, I'm thinking about adding SMCY and maybe TSMY. I don't know. I gotta look further into this stock, but it's not looking bad. It's not looking bad at all. I'm bullish on the company long term, so yeah, maybe I'll add this. But so next video I want to make about like I made a video about Misty that I'm gonna be adding to Misty. I already started. I'm doing it slow, but I want to add a significant chunk of Misty, and people have been asking me why not Hui, why not Platy. So my next video will explain why I'm thinking I'm not gonna do Hui or Platy. And yeah, so be sure to check that out. And the premise of that video is that I could be selling my own covered calls, and I'll walk you through my strategy. Okay, bro. So once again, here's the whole picture, all of these funds. Let's zoom in. And again, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.